If you make $50,000 a year and spend $50,000 a year, you aren't making it. You're what I call a high-functioning broke person. One missed paycheck, one car repair, or a minor illness could topple your life. Yet society convinces you that this is normal, that living paycheck to paycheck is just how adulthood works. Being broke is expensive. It's a hidden tax that punishes the exhausted. It's the $3 ATM fee because you needed 20 bucks now, not 20 minutes later. It's the late fee on a bill you could have paid but forgot in the fog of fatigue. Every day, the system takes a little more from you until, by the time you've earned your paycheck, there's nothing left for the privilege of living. Budgeting apps or side hustles won't fix this. Those are band-aids on a severed artery. This isn't just math, it's structure. You aren't only battling your bank balance, you're fighting a system designed to keep you just stable enough to keep working, but just desperate enough to keep spending. Every ad, every sale notification is engineered to drain the slack you saved last month. Without slack, you lose power. You can't refuse a toxic boss, wait for a better deal, or invest in yourself because you're surviving the week. The trap thrives on exhaustion. A 10-hour shift leaves you craving the convenience store meal that costs more than cooking at home. The O-ring effect of small failures, like a broken water heater or parking ticket, can cascade into a month-long nightmare of overdraft fees and high-interest loans. This isn't laziness. Chronic financial stress rewires your brain into a scarcity mindset, making even simple decisions feel impossible. Mid-month is where the quiet desperation lives. You stand in the grocery aisle staring at pasta versus rotisserie chicken, calculating calories, cost, and survival. Experts tell you to save 10% of your income. That advice feels cruel. You aren't overspending on luxuries. You're bleeding under the weight of survival, subscriptions, maintenance, and hidden costs that keep you trapped. The first step to breaking free is understanding the trap, not blaming yourself. Once you see its scaffolding, you can start thinking about how to dismantle it. The trap isn't random. It's built from invisible, compounding costs that keep people just above zero. One of the most insidious is the poverty premium. Being broke is expensive. When you can't pay in advance or in full, you pay more. Out-of-network ATMs, convenience stores, high-interest loans, and late fees all add up. Over time, these small, unavoidable costs become a massive drain, ensuring that even when you earn, survival eats the gain. Then there's the vicious cycle of the low-income car. You can't afford a reliable vehicle, so you buy a cheap one. Within months, repairs come due, often costing more than the car itself. You put it on a credit card or DIY it, losing both money and time. Suddenly, what looked like a bargain has cost more in a year than a brand new car would have. This isn't poor judgment, it's a system that forces you to pay the highest prices for the lowest quality, trapping you in perpetual maintenance debt. Decision fatigue is another silent enemy. When your day is spent fighting just to make ends meet, every choice, from buying soap to affording a school trip, requires immense mental energy. By evening, your brain is exhausted, your willpower depleted. You order takeout instead of cooking, ignore your bank account, and postpone bills. This isn't laziness, it's biology under stress. Chronic scarcity rewires your mind, lowering your effective IQ and making sound financial choices exponentially harder. Even earning more money doesn't guarantee freedom. The system is designed with an income plateau. A raise can reduce benefits, trigger rent hikes, or increase insurance premiums. Suddenly, earning $5,000 more a year can leave you with less disposable income than before. It's a cruel ceiling that punishes progress while keeping you trapped in the cycle of desperation. All these forces, the poverty premium, high-cost survival, decision fatigue, and income plateaus, combine into a web that keeps most people from gaining traction. You aren't failing because you lack discipline or intelligence. You are trapped in a system designed to keep you running just fast enough to survive, but never fast enough to thrive.
The key insight here is that the math isn't broken, the strategy is. You've been defending your financial life, putting out fires as they appear. But to escape the trap, you must shift from defense to offense. You must identify the levers the system depends on and start pulling them with precision. It begins with understanding the mechanics, because once you see how the trap operates, you can start dismantling it piece by piece. Escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck trap isn't about working harder, it's about thinking smarter. The exit strategy starts small. Most people treat savings like leftovers. Whatever remains at the end of the month gets tucked away. But in a low-income reality, there are never leftovers. The world consumes every dollar. To break free, you have to become a financial ghost. You must designate a specific, non-negotiable portion of your income, even if it's only $20, that is invisible to the outside world. This is your buffer. It isn't for the light bill, the gas tank, or an emergency that is actually just poor planning. It's for you, your leverage, your freedom. Freedom isn't flashy. It's measured by how long you could survive if you stopped working tomorrow. $500 untouched in a high-yield account buys you something a $100,000 SUV never will. Time. Time to make better decisions, wait for sales, search for opportunities, or escape a toxic work situation without the stench of desperation hanging over you. This is how you reclaim agency. You stop being a passenger in your own life and start becoming the friction that slows down the system trying to grind you down. The hardest part of getting ahead is often that it feels like falling behind. Driving a dented car longer than you want, skipping weddings or dinners, saying no to the latest gadget, it looks like deprivation to the outside world. But this is strategic. Every almost stable, almost out of debt, almost ready to breathe is exactly where the banks profit. They thrive in the gap between your reality and your aspirations. Learning to embrace the slow, boring, and frustrating climb is essential. Ultimately, breaking free is about mindset. You must decide that your slack, your breathing room, your buffer is more important than appearances or social expectations. The cage isn't just the interest rates or late fees. The lock is in your head. When you claim your non-negotiable space, the door swings open. It's not instant, it's a crawl. But one day, you'll check your bank account on a Tuesday, and for the first time in years, you won't feel that phantom weight in your chest. You'll feel nothing. And in this economy, nothing is the most beautiful thing in the world. Reclaiming your financial life doesn't come from luck, a raise, or a side hustle. It comes from awareness, strategy, and discipline. Start small. Protect your buffer. Understand the mechanics. Move from defense to offense, and slowly, deliberately, you'll find yourself stepping out of the cycle. No longer a high-functioning broke person, but someone who controls the rules of the game.